Dr. Emmanuel sir, are you there? We are already live. Emmanuel sir, we are already live. Please start the session.
Hello everyone. Dr. Syed, I have joined with two of my devices because one is my laptop and another one is my phone. So I will be keeping on my mic through my phone, and whatever the screen sharing would be there, I will be doing with my laptop. Is that all right if I connect with two devices? Well, I will make sure that there will be no voice clashing between whenever whoever is speaking or whenever I'm speaking.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dr. Emmanuel, we are already live. Are you there?
Yes, here I am.
Yes, we are already live, sir. You can start.
Okay.
Voter education and
Okay.
on the PR system. The mayor
Later.
of the SFDP, Musa, acknowledged the support shown by his people to support not only him but President
Participants,
the
please mute your
aspirant for parliamentary seats within both districts. Ujala University lecturers in support of the and other well-wishers of the party called
Sorry, I have moved. Dr. Emmanuel will start our conference.
Okay,
Hello?
thank you very much. Thank you. Hello,
Yeah.
I can hear you, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Welcome.
I sent agenda to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me humbly welcome all of us. Today, when we are continuing our conference, this is yet another great day. I humbly welcome you all from all over the world, all over the globe. Today we have met. We will continue discussing issues pertaining to human rights. As we all are aware that all over the world, more especially in those areas where the conflicts are going on, people are suffering, people are facing a lot of atrocities, a lot of things are happening. So, Global United for Peace and Justice, we have decided to make sure that we preach the word that will help a lot of people all over the world to for their rights to be respected. You know, children and women in most of the countries, they're facing a lot of atrocities. They're suffering sexual harassment. They're being killed. They're living without food because they're displaced. A lot of things are happening. So today, again, we have met here on our conference as we are continuing it so that we have our great speakers. They should talk much about this and how we can come up with other mechanisms to minimize or to stop these human rights violations. So we are here. I welcome you, all the speakers or honorable members who are with us today. Thank you very much for joining us. Today, we are going to have a lot of speakers and also the guest speaker, and most of the speakers are coming from India. Now, our session will start by a presentation by Dr. Ajum Kulash. Dr. Ajum, this is now your time. You can make your presentation. Thank you. Dr. Ajum?
Dr. Anju Raisi, can you, right.
Yeah, thank you.
Pigeons? Who needs them? Flying rats? Not so. They are of the prettiest, brightest birds that have ever flown, marshalling here in the Thames estuary where once they prepared for war. Today they're gathering to remember war, the First World War, and their role in it.
They are so durable and they're such a brave little bird. It can be shot, which happened in the First World War, and as long as it can fly, it will carry on, and it just keeps going and going and going. As you can see, this one's just a lovely
Beautiful.
a white wing on there.
Aren't you a beauty? How amazing that they played such a role. With planes flying in war for the first time, pilots carried a pigeon in their cockpit in case they were shot down.
The last communication that they could use was put a pigeon message and let it go. It would then fly back with the coordinates of where they was landed or where they're ditched, and then they could be rescued.
What about the reason for flying at night or at dusk?
Biggest thing to a pigeon is their enemy is the hawk.
German hawks.
Hawks, yes. And also for the German snipers on the front line, in the dark, they couldn't see the birds go.
It's that fact that is at the core of where this remembrance of war meets art.
For me, I can watch birds flying in the sky for hours.
These pigeons have been settling here on a vast specially created coop for 3 full months to enable the American artist Duke Riley to deploy them in a most remarkable art form. It wasn't war that turned him onto pigeons, it was running away from home and living in a pigeon coop.
During that time when I was living in the pigeon coop, and I was kind of observing them all the time, they started to enter into my work at that point in time.
The commission charged with the remembrance of the 1418 war heard about him and asked him to create a spectacle here.
The First World War was a time when the very fact that pigeons were being used and played such an important role in that time period was specific to the fact that there was this point in time where all of these different forms of technology were moving incredibly fast, where you had all of these mechanisms of destruction that did not exist before in the forms of planes and submarines and giant cannons and poison gas and all types of things. But the ways that people were able to communicate were still extremely limited.
As night falls, the lights burn brightly in the coop. 1,500 birds are being prepared, with tiny LED lights attached. They gather on the roof, ready for takeoff. And suddenly, the night sky is illuminated, with formations of lights, as if with little planes, and yet, in reality, those extraordinary pigeons scudding into glorious patterns. Flag-waving signallers on the roof to keep them aloft, summoning thoughts from the artist about the nature of war.
What war is becoming is more about, not necessarily about the amount of people that you can kill with weapons, but the amount of people that you can control.
Yes, war and art, fused in memory of those men and women who died in what they called the Great War. And yes, amid the darkness, the role those thousands of pigeons played in the war that was supposed to end all war.
Condemn this wanton violence in which both sides have trampled international humanitarian law, notably the principles of distinction, proportionality, and precaution. Today, immense damage has been done, destroying the hopes and rights of millions of people. It is essential that both parties urgently commit to an inclusive political process and to a negotiated peace. The ongoing talks in Jeddah, which focus on creating a ceasefire, need to be complemented by commitments to establish a humanitarian truce, all parties must protect the rights of civilians and comply with international humanitarian and human rights law. If there is one lesson to be drawn from this tragic crisis, it is the pressing need for all transitional arrangements to build on bedrock commitments to accountability, non-discrimination and participation, so that peace can be sustainable and stable because it is just.
It's an unimaginable country. There is only one channel on TV. There is no internet. We aren't free to sing, say, wear, or think what we want. North Korea is the only country in the world that executes people for making unauthorized international phone calls. North Koreans are being terrorized today. When I was growing up in North Korea, I never saw anything about love stories between men and women. No books, no songs, no press, no movies about love stories. There is no Romeo and Juliet. Every story was propaganda to brainwash us about the Kim dictators. I was born in 1993, and I was abducted at birth, even before I knew the words freedom or human rights. North Koreans are desperately seeking and dying for freedom at this moment. When I was 9 years old, I saw my friend's mother publicly executed. Her crime? Watching a Hollywood movie. Expressing doubt about the greatness of the regime can get 3 generations of a family imprisoned or executed. When I was 4 years old, I was warned by my mother not to even whisper. The birds and mice couldn't hear me. I admitted I thought the North Korean dictator could read my mind. My father died in China after he escaped North Korea. And I had to bury him at 3 a.m. in secret. I was 14 years old. I couldn't even cry. I was afraid to be sent back to North Korea. The day I escaped North Korea, I saw my mother raped. The rapist was a Chinese broker. He targeted me. I was 13 years old. There is a saying in North Korea, women are weak, but mothers are strong. My mother allowed herself to be raped in order to protect me. North Korean refugees, about 300,000, are vulnerable in China. 70% of North Korean and teenage girls are being victimized, sometimes sold for as little as $200. We walked across the Gobi Desert, following a compass. When they stopped working, we followed the stars to freedom. I felt only the stars were with us. Mongolia was our freedom moment. Death or dignity. Armed with knives, we were prepared to kill ourselves if we were going to be sent back to North Korea. We wanted to live as humans.
Dr. Manuel? Hello?
Hello?
Dr. Manuel?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Hello, Dr. Manuel?
Hello? I
Hello,
can hear
Dr.
you.
Emmanuel?
Hello? I can
Yeah.
hear you, ma'am.
The Dr. Angem Quraisy's presentation is over, I think.
Okay.
Shall we start the next one?
Yes. Yeah, the next one. Yeah, thanks.
Don't waste the time, dear.
Hello? Yes, now we are
Yeah.
going to the next one. We are going to the next article. Let me thank Dr. Kulaish, Dr. Ajum for a very good presentation. We have seen heartbreaking videos here. These are the reality, some of the things that are happening all over the world. Our girls, our women, our men, our boys are facing a lot of atrocities all over the world. As we have seen in the videos, there are a lot that are happening across the world. We are here as a group of people, as a group of activists who are fighting for freedom, who are fighting for the people who cannot speak for themselves. We are speaking for the voiceless. We are representing those marginalized communities. So as we continue our conference, let me thank I2IM for making this live, SLBC TV BO for making this live, Page 3 newspaper who are with us. Thank you very much for a very good job that you are doing, making sure that the message of human rights should go all over the world. Now, at this point in time, let me humbly ask Dr. Said to give us her welcome remarks. Dr. Said, give us your welcome speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Today, our fifth day and a final day of the Global Great Peace Conference 2023. Today, we will respectfully welcome to our chief guest, Excellency of Dr. Parvinder Singh and owner of the Page 3 newspaper. Today, our seven of our great speakers will be speak under the two topics. We welcome you all with respectfully. In addition, we kindly request that the necessary arrangements be made to give opportunities to the speakers who could not appear at the previous conferences due to the reasonable reasons to deliver their lectures. I wish to explain this peace and what is war. Consensus is a state of harmony, absence of antagonism. The term is also used to mark the end of the violent international conflict. Interrupted in this international context, the meaning of the term is the proper opposite of war. If there is relationship between any number of parties that exist, the qualities of respectful consideration, justice, fairness, and goodwill, it can also be called peace. What is war? War is a violent conflict on a large scale. War throughout history has evolved from tribal conflicts to battles between cities, states, and empire. The word world war is used nowadays for any struggle. For example, war on drugs and war on terror can be mentioned. In the past, humans were thought to be the only animal and force. But careful observation of animal life has revealed wars between ant colonies and the chimpanzees tribes. The group of combatants and their supporters of the designated as the ground forces on land, the navy at sea, and the air force in air. War may follow several simultaneously. The single treater may have several successive operations. A military campaign involved not only fighting, but also information, troop movement, logistics, propaganda, and so on. Although long-term engagements are designed as combat, and the designation is not used for engagements such as airstrike, bomb, and missile attacks without combatants. Civil war is about resolving international differences by force. Professor Lawrence H. at Penn State University in his book War is a war civilization. 95% of non-societies engage in periodic confederations, and the large number engage in constant warfare. History. The history is that there can be different agreements about the origins of the war, as some believe war has always been with us. Others emphasizes that evidence of warfare in times in scale. Another factor is the fact that there are still many peaceful social systems. In the beginning, the war appeared to be a small-scale stage. Since the beginning of civilization 5,000 years ago, there have been various levels of the warfare globally. The invention of gunpowder and technological advancement brought war times. The 2005 Human Security Report notes that there has been a gradual decline in armed conflicts since the end of the Cold War in the 1990s. However, according to the factors examined the first war and the peace study in 2008, the decline has now been reduced. Mental loss of war. Psychologist E.F.M. Durbin and John Bowlby urge that the humans are born violent. This brutally suppressed normal society. Because of these reasons, society had to face the consequence of war. Because of the war, the suffering of the people and heart and prejudice between each ethnic group, race, and each religion turn into prejudice. These terms help to find answer to the questions why war occurred. These terms did not claim to have a culture made up of violent people. It was stated this way because the people remains content and differences in each person are not certain. Franz Alexander has stated an answer to these questions. This is that there is no time without war and there is no time to peace. The time of peace, there is a preparation for another big war. Or this time has come when the war has been stopped by the great power. An example is the Pax Britannica. According to psychological terms, war is something inherent in human nature, so it is difficult to avoid it. According to psychologists, although there is war mentally in the people, in the become a real war when a mentally unbalanced persons. This means that people like Napoleon, Hitler, and the Stalin had abnormal mental conditions, but this law allows normal, free, and good people. Sensible people don't explain away the worst cases of war. The last thing we can point out is that war is a brutal process and the rebellion is mostly caused by the unfair process like discrimination and bullying others due to the exile, greed. The purpose of this conferences is to fight the fire of war and the all kind of discord, riots, and unfairness in various parts of the world, and raise the voice to put pressure on the responsible parties. Protect human rights. Let's maintain world peace. Will bury the injustice. May world peace prevail. Peace and justice should be spread throughout the world. Thank you very much, Dr. Anjum. Thank you very much, our Dr. Emmanuel. Welcome, our Excellency of Dr. Pravinder Singh. Our Dr. Parvinder Singh is owner of the Page 3 newspaper. Welcome. Welcome. Emmanuel, are you here? Are you there? He is missing. Dr. Malu is missing. Dr. Anjum Quraisi.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Anjum Quraisi.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Now we can go to the next part. That's the next one is according to agenda. We'll call our chief guest, Dr. Excellency of Dr. Pravinder Singh. Is as our chief guest. You can invite to him to present his speech.
Okay, ma'am. So good evening, everyone. I once again welcome you all for the 5th day of the Great Peace Conference. And today we have amongst us the chief guest of the today's function, Dr. Parvinder Singh. I invite him for his speech.
Thank you very much for everybody. And let me see, for everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you for the great briefing, the Honorable Dr. Syed, and thank you very much all of you, my brothers and sisters all around the world. And this is a great opportunity, one platform Dr. Syed create in this world for the make us all together. We are set in one place, whatever we are from the several places. We are from the social, we are from the media, we are from the justice, we are from the human rights. So there's a great opportunity to see each other. So in Thailand, we say Swadikap, and good evening to everyone for joining us today. And thank you for the all speakers to joining and give your valuable time for this world. So this world surely need you, and not only for the 13 or 14 people we are online Zoom meeting, maybe the more than 100,000 or 200,000 people if are listening. There's a, but it's okay. We are start with the small. When we are starting something, is very small group of the people. What later then people follow. Then we are creating a very big group to who teach this world for the awareness of not fight each other and not fight with anyone, because we have only one birth. This one birth is not enough for the friendship, but we don't have the place or time for the fight. And we should have to control the anger from the people. We should give the awareness to the people, control the anger. For if we are teach one person, today we are sitting maybe Dr. Syed, maybe we are online 14 people, maybe the other offline many people are also listening us. So if 14 people start tomorrow for teach 10 people to follow us for control the anger. If this campaign become the success, the people control the anger, nobody go for the fight. Even Putin invite the army, even the Zelensky, even the Joe Biden invite anyone. People say, hey, we don't stupid, we don't go to the fight, we don't have time for fight. So fight is automatic stop. There is no war. The second thing is control the power race. In this world, for everybody follow the power. When they are create little position in this world, they are say, hey, I'm the bigger one. No one for can sit same place to me. So this is the race of power. Whatever the USA doing in the Ukraine, this is not his concern, but the race of the power. He's a remember for the last time when the America want to fight with the Cuba, then the USSR gave the missile who hit the United States 180 miles. So US never forget that thing, what Russia do with him in the past 40 years ago. So there is no Fidel Castro, there is no other people, there is no for the John F. Kennedy now, but people still follow the power race. So if we are control these people, don't follow the power race. Everybody, when God make or Allah make or whatever the religious we are believing in this human win, for if they are make the people, they are not make for the enemy. They are make only for the friends. So God make this world, people make the boundary. So people fight for their boundaries. When we don't have the boundaries, and same the platform Dr. Syed creating today. So if we are got the more platform like that, for every day we are sitting like 20,000 or 30,000 people, we are talking each other all around the world, the fight is the stop tomorrow. The third thing is for the awareness. People don't have the awareness, people follow the social media and the panic. The must we have to stop the panic things or panic news to the people's. My newspaper is number one newspaper in this world. Hopefully in the all life is for number one in this world. My newspaper don't have any advertisement. That's mean I'm not sell my body, I'm not sell my voice. If I got the advertisement, if a 10 or 20 newspaper or 10 or 20 media channel across the world give the real news, not the fake news, this world will be better. So we need to the awareness, and for when we got the awareness, then there is no fight. Try to start from tomorrow. I'm not taking much time. Dr. Syed, thank you very much to invite me. Thank you for Dr. Emmanuel. You are the great person. Start from the first session to until today, and thank you for your valuable time. Thank you for everyone to listening me.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for this thing. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a great pleasure to see each one.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you
course.
very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
We are so great having you on board. We are so much blessed today having you. That was our guest speaker today, the owner of Page 3 newspaper. So we are really blessed in this house today, having him on board, and he is our guest speaker today. Thank you very much, sir. We
You're
are
welcome,
so
sir.
much blessed.
All the time.
Thank you.
Anything,
Thank you. You're welcome, sir.
anything anyone need from me, all the time, my phone is open for all of you until my
Thank
life.
you. Thank
Thank you very much, each
much.
one.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. You are a great leader.
Thank you very
You are a
much,
great
Dr.
leader. Thank you.
Pravata Singh.
Thank you very much. Now, let us continue our conference, and this time, I would like to request our speakers just to speak a comment on what our guest speaker has spoken, just for 1 to 2 minutes. Just for 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes, please. 1 to 2 minutes, please. Let's be time conscious. It's just a comment, a small comment, and then we go. But for you, all speakers, you are given 1 to 2 minutes that you can comment on what our great reader, our guest speaker today has spoken. Thank you. Yes, anyone who wants to comment, our speakers for today, if you have any comment, you can comment for about a minute or 2 minutes.
Dr. Emmanuel, I think no one is there to ask any questions
Yes.
from our chief
Thank
guest.
you. Thank you.
So we can go to the next person.
Thank you very much. Now, that was our first session. And at this point now, we have come to the end of the first session. Now, we'll be getting into the second session. And in this second session, we are going to have our speakers. And amongst the speakers today, I will start with Ambassador Dr. M.D. Shaheen from Bangladesh. Ambassador Dr. M.D. Shaheen from Bangladesh, if you are there, please give us your speech. Dr. M.D. Shaheen from Bangladesh, if you can hear me, please, this is now your time.
He's not there.
He's not there.
He's absent, I think. Yeah, I never seen him.
He's
You
not
can go
there.
to the next speaker.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Dr. Joe.
now he's
Thank
not
you.
there.
Thank you. Okay, because our first speaker is not there, maybe he will join us on the way as we go. Let me humbly ask the second speaker, and this one is Dr. Kalpana Dext from India. Dr. Kalpana Dext from India. If you can hear me, please, if you are there, please, this is now your time that you can talk to us.
Yes, Dr. Anil, thank you for inviting me. I am
Thank you.
Dr.
Welcome, ma'am.
I am Dr.
You're welcome,
Kalpana
ma'am.
Dixit from India. Thank you, Dr. Syed Hanifin, and thank you, Honorable Dr. Parminder Singh, for your greatest inaugural speech. And thank you all the wonderful speakers and delegates present in the today's conference. Actually, the topic of today is the violation of human rights or human rights crisis at Yemen. Yemen is actually a very beautiful, very cultured, very religious, and very peaceful country before the war. Now, the war is destroyed everything. And when the war starts, this is the conflicting situation of the egos of the two parties. The race of competition, the ego of the parties the conflicting situations, the self-possessiveness, and the other human egoistic nature. So when the human rights are violated in any country, the situation of the whole world becomes panic. Everyone is concerned with the violation of these human rights. Everyone thinks, why the situation emerged? What is the reason behind it? Why the people are doing like that? Why they don't consider humanity? Why they don't save the human life? So this is the situation. These are the questions. That is why we are here to collaborate to establish peace in all over the world, to understand the issue and conflicting situation of the countries which are fighting, which are under war conditions. So I am Dr. Kalpana Dixit. I would like to present my presentation on the human rights crisis. Can I get permission to present my presentation, please? Yeah. Here is my presentation. My presentation is visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am, you are visible.
Yeah, that's fine. I am thankful to the chairperson, Dr. Saidi, and of the chief guest of the present conference, Dr. Parminder Singh, Honorable Dr. Parminder Singh. Thank you, IDBIM and other collaborative organizations for this wonderful, great global peace. The peace is more than just the absence of war. Actually, true peace is justice, true peace is freedom, and true peace is the recognition of human rights. This quote was said by Ronald Reagan. Human rights. What are the human rights? All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So why they are not getting their rights, which they are getting being a human? They must get the rights. Yemen. This is the beautiful Yemen, cultured Yemen, religious Yemen. Before the war, the picture is showing everything about the architect, about the culture, about the religious value of the Yemen. And this is the present situation, which has been shown the conflicted zone, Yemeni government forces area, and other parties which are supporting Yemen government, and the Houthi supported areas also. So this is the conflicting area. This is the conflicted situation. Why this war is continuing? What are the consequences of any war? As we all know, as a human being, as an educationist, as a media person, as a leader, we know whenever war happens, that increase military expenditure. So the other sectors of the economic are lacking because we are investing all our funds in military expenditure. Then destruction of livelihood and infrastructure. You know, all the basic facilities, water, sanitization, transportation system, everything is spoiled during war and under war conditions. And limitation regarding economic activity through insecurity, limited mobility of the person, mobility of the resources, mobility of the transport, mobility of the health service, education, everything is to be destroyed. And macroeconomic effect is such that inflation. This is the scale of humanitarian crisis at Yemen. The total population of Yemen, as per the data, is 27 million, and those considered food insecure are 17 million. Internally displaced people, 2 million. Those without access to safe drinking water or sanitation are 40.4 million. The data has said that definitely Yemen has a great human rights crisis because an estimated 70 million people are insecure and 68 million severely food insecure. About 3.3 million children and pregnant feeding women are actually malnutrited. They don't have proper nutrition, even though they don't have food to eat. and 4,62,000 children under 5 who faces severe malnutrition situation. This is also a human rights crisis because the good health is the right of every human being. And that represents a 57% increase since that threatens the life and lifelong prospects affected according to the United Nations. The World Food Program has classified Yemen's 22 provinces as being at one tab below famine on 5 points. This is very difficult and critical situation. And 10 provinces are at crisis levels. So the data has exhibit already that there is a severe human rights crisis in all the aspects, whether it is dignity of life, whether it is health, whether it is nutrition situation, whether it is medical facility or other facilities. Millions need access to safe drinking water. This is the situation. The picture is visible itself. 14.4 million people now lack access to safe drinking water or sanitation. 8.2 million who are in acute need of assistance, any type of assistance. And an outbreak of cholera and acute watery diarrhea was declared in the month of October 2023. Lack access to basic healthcare also because the hospital is destroyed during war. An estimated 4.8 million lack access to basic health, with 8.8 million living in severely affected areas. Only 45% of the 3,500 health facilities are functioning. And treatments for chronic patients are increasingly unavailable due to import difficulties. Because when the war is continued, there is great crisis of transportation. The people, those who are taking the authority will not allow the media, they will not allow the resources from outside of the country. So this is the crisis. School-going kids are involved in war. This is a very harmful situation nowadays because if the kids are involved in war, you can think about the mental state of the kids. You can think about the future of that kids, and you can think about the status of the whole world where the kids are fighting like that. This is not their age to fight under a war situation. So this is the great human rights crisis. We have to protect the child of Yemen, or we have to protect the child of every army forces working there or the party of opposition, because we should not involve anything, a single kid in the war. Value of human life. What is the value of human life? More than 10,000 children been killed in the fighting, according to the United Nations report. And the UN estimates that by the start of 2022, the conflict in Yemen has caused over 3 million deaths, with 60% of the results hunger and lack of healthcare and unsafe water. There are many reasons during the war situation that hurt, that impact the health of the people, that led to them to the death, that led to the end of the life. Displacement. As you all know, in every war or conflicted situation, people have to migrate. People have to leave their home. People have to shift from one place to another place. So almost 4.5 million people have been displaced, and 24.1 million people, 80% of the almost 80% of the population are in need of great humanitarian aid and protocol. The UN says that tens of thousands of people in Yemen are currently living in famine conditions. This is a severe condition. 6 million people are on the famine status. So the picture is visible. The child is crying because he has no home. Side effects of war. So many side effects. The picture is exhibiting itself. This is the Babel, Yemen district, and this is Al Khaiba Hospital. This is Mina School. All are being damaged during the war. The fighting has reported more than 150,000 people are killed. One of the world's most humanitarian crises, with thirds of the population, million people in need of form of aid. An economic breakdown by the war has left many to afford food and other essentials. Suffering of children. This is the data. So that many children, more than 3,500, are victim of one or more grave violation. You all know what is the grave violation. In Yemen, between January 2019 and 31st December 22, this is the current data, which has shown that the grave war is the most impactful crisis situation at Yemen. The denial of humanitarian access and killing and maiming and recruitment and use of child were the most prevalent. 8,526 grave violence cases are visibly present there. And the media person thinks that that can be right also. Grave violation against children in Yemen between 1 January 2019 and December 22. 8,536, recruitment and youth, 861, killing and maiming, 2,604 children, rape and other form of sexual violence, 14 incidents. This is reported by the different authorities there. And abduction, 86 children abducted. Attack on the school and hospital, 7 attacks on the school, 37 and hospital, 35. Do you think what is remaining there? If all the school and hospitals are damaged, how can we support the human right there? This is really a great crisis situation. And denial of humanitarian access, 4,886 incidents. This is the data. This is not the data. This is actually the situation. Actually, worldwide, wherever the war is exists, this situation either is presently exists or will come in near future also. Other incidents of human rights violation. I want to say that violation of human rights everywhere in the world is a great chance to war and conflict in all over the world. This is the unwritten rule of the world because we are demanding peace, but people are fighting. People are fighting for their ground, their land, their prosperity, their power, their rule, everything. So if they are fighting continuously, there must definitely conflict situation in all over the world. And the world war is not far right now. Unlawful attack, children in armed conflict, landmines, arbitrary detention, torture, disappearance, blocking and impeding humanitarian and women's rights, abuse against migrants. Migrants are also suffering, blocking and impeding humanitarian. No. How to solve? We can solve by establishing peace. We can solve by mutual dialogue. We can solve by discussing at the national and international platform like we are doing here. What is the urgent need of accountability? We have to prove accountability to each and everyone, those are involved directly or indirectly in this war or other wars in the world. Given Yemenis urgent medical needs, humanitarian aid obstruction must be stopped. Safety of migrants to be ensured. Improve economic conditions of the Yemen by giving them jobs, by establishing industries, by establishing peace. Peace is must. All parties to end human rights abuse and law of war and violation. The first step is that the human rights calls on the Yemen authorities, international investigation. They should allow, the present government of Yemenis will allow the media, whether it is electronic or print, the international organization, the international supporting organization, the representative of UNICEF, UNESCO, United Nations, or the representative of other collaborative organizations which are supporting of peace. So they must be invited there so that they can find out the actual solution. And we have to challenge the amnesty law because the people who are responsible and accountable for war, they must be prosecuted and proceeding. They meet internal due process standards. And this is my last We are here to heal, not harm. We are here to love, not hate. We are here to create, not destroy. A.D. Williams has quoted this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Each and everyone, all the wonderful members, the chairperson of the conference, the honorable chief guest, all the wonderful speakers there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It is a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. You are so much welcome. It's an eye-opener. We have learned a lot of what is happening in Yemen. Thank you very much. We have learned a lot from you. It has been a wonderful presentation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. You are so much welcome. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. As we continue our conference, this evening, this afternoon, this morning, we have learned a lot from Yemen. We have seen how children are being taken from school and then taken to war, how they have been armed. A lot of things are happening in Yemen, which are not, these are not things that are supposed to happen to our children, because our children need to go to school. They need to have a sense of belonging to the society. They are not supposed to be involved in such conflicts because they are innocent. Now, looking into all these things, that's why we have gathered here in this conference today, that we need to come up with mechanisms, solutions, how these violations, how these conflicts must be stopped, so that people should live in peace. Children, women, and everyone should live in peace. They should enjoy their rights. Now, as we continue, let me call the third speaker, and this one is Dr. Priyanka from India. Ambassador Dr. Priyanka from India. It's your time to talk to us. Dr. Priyanka, if you are with us in this meeting.
Not joined.
Hello? He's not.
She has not joined. Priyanka ma'am has not joined. So you can go for the next. I think Jhansi.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Requested to speak next.
Okay. Someone requested to speak next after.
Yes.
After this, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. So actually, I'm joining with my two screens. One is for audio from my phone, and next is the, my camera is visible from another screen, that is my laptop, and I need access for sharing my screen. Is it all right? Can I get the permission to share my screen?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, I got the permission. Thank you so much. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah, it's loading.
Yeah, now it is visible.
Yeah, just a minute. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Global United for Peace and Human Rights. I'm Jhansi Bhupendra Pula, student researcher, founder and CEO of Anandibai Akino organization. Well, today we all have been gathered here to discuss and study about people and human rights in Yemen. Well, I welcome you all and greet you from every place. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, according to your time zones. Thanks for your presence here. It means a lot. I need a little bit of time to your presence here. Well, before starting it, I would like to quote the quote quoted by Dalai Lama: Peace can only last where human rights are respected, where the peoples are fed, and where individuals and nations are free. Let us understand what is human rights and peace is. Human rights can be defined as those basic standards without which people cannot live in dignity. As human beings, human rights are the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace. Their respect allows the individual and the community to fully develop. Let us understand about Yemen. Yemen is officially known as the Republic of Yemen, the country in the Western Asia, second largest in Arab sovereign state in the Arabic Peninsula, occupies 555,000 kilometers area, and the country population is about 31 million as of Wednesday, May 10, 2023, based on the Worldometer elaboration of the largest United Nations data capital. And the largest city in Yemen is Sana'a. Yemen is also famous for its World Heritage sites and also for its tradition and culture. Well, when we see upon Yemen with great all about its things, but let me show you a small video to know about Yemen. Well, the voice is not that much important, but the pictures which will help you to understand more about Yemen is this video. So how was the Yemen earlier and how it has converted itself is the major thing. Since past 7 to 9 years, this is the situation we see right now. Well, let me shift it ahead. I would do love to share this presentation with you so you all can go more thoroughly about it. Well, let us now understand the crisis in Yemen. This crisis begins with the civil war in Yemen, which is in 2015. We can say like 2014-15 majorly it started, and the results of clashes between the Yemeni governments. This is because of the power which Yemeni people had of trust in the government, but due to misleading of governments, this led to the huge problem in the societies and in the country of Yemen. After 9 years of war, Yemen remained the world's worst. Now, when we see Yemen, now it is the world's worstest humanitarian crisis it is facing. And as an estimated 4.5 million people, 14% of the population, are currently displaced. Most of whom have been displaced multiple times over a number of years. Two-thirds of the population of Yemen, 21.6 million people, are in dire needs of humanitarian assistance and protection services. The risk of large-scale famine in the country has never been more acute. Tens of thousands are already living in famine-like conditions, with staggering 6 million more just one step away from it. Well, there are few words shared by the women in Yemen, and let us put ourselves into the situation. Well, not only women, but I would love also men participating it and putting themselves in the place of these women words who have shared. The name is not exposed here. By God, I'm broken from the inside. It's not normal. I don't feel like a human being. I can't breathe properly like other human beings. We suffer from the forced income, child marriage, divorce shame, domestic violence, and honor killing. I don't know, as if we are aliens. The male family members, which are in Yemen, we find the male dominating characters there. The males are dominating there than females. So she highlights that the male family members have to oppress us and we have to be stayed oppressed, like a puppets controlling by strings. See how pain she has, but she's not able to express that pain from her actions, but she tried to express herself in the words. Well, let us understand women in Yemen. Well, this presentation is all about sharing the words and whatever the things we have, whatever we have got so far to study. According to UNOCHA, over 76% of Yemenis are in the need of humanitarian assistance. The situation of women and girls in the Yemen is very challenging. Conflicts has added layers of vulnerability of women and girls and exacerbated existing gender inequality. And in 2017, Yemen was ranked at the bottom of the gender gap. That index is, according to 2017, that is 144th out of 144 countries. Means at almost we can say Yemen ranks at the lowest as of all the countries listed below. Well, they also highlight that how women are being treated in Yemen if they don't have male partners, or in case the male or the dominating person of the family, or the elder, or the main family member who is male is not there, then the female is sexually and physically violent. And also, they face increase in risk of violence at the checkpoints if the female is once married and when she goes to visit her husband, she is treated in a very harmful way. And there are different ways the Yemenis treat women, either physically or mentally, or they do head shakes of female brides, newly married brides. So, and due to this the women end up to divorce, and they suffer psychological distress and all other mental and physical stress they go through. well in Yemen, the Yemen country is ranked last in the World Economic Forum, and according to Global Gender Gap Index, its executive years, 13 for 13 executive years, and women have been suffering deeply enriched gender inequality rooted in the society. And also, the gender gap is huge in Yemen, as Yemen mainly focuses on male genders, or we can say like male child, then female, and the females are treated very vulnerably. When we see about the child part, you will be knowing the facts and more about the stress whatever the children have faced. Now let us understand. I hope my next screen is visible, right? Just a minute. Okay. Uh, can I get a response that my screen is stopped there? Because here, okay. All right, thank you. Now let us understand about children in Yemen. Children in Yemen majorly see poverty, and in Yemen, Yemen is the poorest country of the Middle East. Nearly 1 to 2 residents are living below the poverty line. The living condition and the residents can differ according to the region in which they live. For example, rural zones are always more discriminated than the urban zones. In every case, children are most vulnerably facing of poverty. Their health, their well-being, and even their survival are seriously affected. Now, let us understand about their health. The infant mortality rate in Yemen is very high, and it is also surprising that many newborns show inadequate weight at the birth. 30%, I mean approximately 30%, you see this inadequate weight at the birth. Births are really problem in Yemen because they are often outside the medical centers, and it is very risky for a child as well as mother. Malnutrition is also one of the major problem in Yemen, and where it is seen in recorded numbers. Harmful consequences of malnutrition of health of young Yemenis are numerous. For example, nearly 1/3 of the children between 2 and 5 years old suffer from the serious retardation. Children's health is equally affected by inadequate access to the water, lack of hygiene and hydration, large supports, the spread of epidemic, as well as aggravation of illness that were previously begun. Now let us understand about right to education. Well, right to education is the basic right of every human being. But in Yemen, it has been become a very rare case. because right to education is lacking in Yemen. Girls are affected more than boys. And nowadays, the education, uh, even boys are being less educated in Yemen due to the war, because boys are involved in the war and they are less concentrated on the studies. Even the presence of armed forces in the country makes travel to school difficulties and dangerous, because the armed, armed forces or armies are even tackling the schools, we can say that. So it has become a serious issue and a frightening situation for the families, and also the children to go to school rather than staying at home. So they prefer most often to stay at home instead of going to school. And hence, due to that, they lack in education. And these children participate in war, especially the males, and the females at the lower age get married under 18. And due to that, they face many other problems. Now let us understand child labor. Child labor is an everyday reality for about 23% of the children between 5 to 14 years old. The reason of child labor is to earn money, at least to fulfill their basic needs, or to fill their small tummy. Well, uh, the child labor is not only the child are forced to work, but also they are sexually exploited to slavery treatment and cruelty. And often the child is facing health, facing physically, mentally, and other situations. They are facing stress at the very small age. Well, child labor is not only in Yemen but all other countries facing together. Let us stop this by bringing a change, taking an action more than words, and proving it that actions are more powerful than words. Well, now let us understand the next point, that is child abuse. Again, this is one of the major things. It is often seen for females than males, but it's always the same ratio. Well, child abuse is seen in Yemen more now because of the illiteracy, because of the war, because of different rules and regulations made by the government, who and especially this is seen in little girls who are violated by their even the family members only go through this situation, bring this situation more often than the other ones. Main the family members bring the situation of child abuse, and where the girl, even the child, is very much insecure of sharing these things. So this is hidden between her only, and she gets stressed of not only girl, but I'm talking about boys also. Okay, now let us see about next thing. Child trafficking. Child trafficking is another nowadays a great news we see among the society. Child trafficking is the situation where children are sold or either killed and their organs are sold to the different countries. Child trafficking is also seen in the countries where the children from Yemen or children from different countries are sold to the other countries for, and these children are involved in the war zone to fight for the country, whatever the country they have been sold for. And also due to this, the children's majorly increase their mindset into the crime areas to do the crime, and they don't have any specific protection. Usually the child traffic is seen in minorities or minor religion or minor people, we can say that, or we can see that. Next thing, let us understand the next topic, and that is child marriage. Of course, child marriage in Yemen is large in huge amount, in a big, we can say large scale. Not only in Yemen, but also other countries, they do follow child marriage, and especially the girls have been facing this situation. Girl before enters into her puberty, she gets married to a man who is already about a 30 years or 20, 25 years, a matured person, and even faces a very sexually and physically and mentally uh, violence, and also faces inequality between both of that. As men, even men don't see that the girl, he is married to the younger one than him, and he just physically harms her or sexually harms her. And then the and even the girl is not that educated, so she don't understand what's going with her. She just accepts whatever is happening, and she just travels to this situation, and at the end she may end up with death or huge injuries. Next is one of the major issues that is hidden from the society, which is not usually talked or shared, that is female genital mutilation. This is a topic where everyone stops up, or either this topic is not raised. It is now seen that majorly in Yemen, this is done because to the thought is that if the female goes to female genital mutilation, she is virgin, and this is the harmful practice which is done to the females in very small ages, and this practice even cause various harmful diseases because this practice is not done in very hygienic method. Well, it is not, it should not be conducted, but when people are doing such practices, they use blades of other, like one blade is used for every woman, the common blades and all the needles, the stitches and all. So this is a very harmful process a female goes through. Now the refugee children, because as we see the war, people travel from different places and different countries, and the wars are there. So these people who travel from one country to different country, they are refugees, and they also face a similar situation as of others because of lack of their own country citizenship, or due to the reason of calamities or of wars. People travel different places, but they also add up into the same situation, and this situation is very worse. Especially the refugees face huge amount of malnutrition and other health related issues. Next is right to identification. This is now recently raised situation because most of the like nearly 80% of the births are unofficially declared to the public authorities, and result the parts of course and registering the high level. And yes, now when it comes to right to identification, everyone identifies he her them or their selves in different ways, and this is what the comfortable way they want to be or their choice to be. But the countries which are developing, or the countries with less literacy rate, don't understand the situation. Well, everyone has the right to identify themselves in the way they are comfortable of. If they identify themselves as any of the genders according to the LGBT community, but there are more genders which are yet to be identified. So the country should give the right to give the right to the peoples to identify them, accept the people of any gender, and give the freedom to live. Now, the next thing is about understanding regarding justice of minors. Yes, every country has its limits, and every country has different classes like minorities, non-minorities. So, yes, children do not have a particular legislative protection. A child force is to prostitute herself within a framework of the network of a traffic that exploits it, can be commonly punished for an act of prostitute. The country continues to execute minor in complete violation of fundamental rights of minors. So children stopped by police forces live in miserable circumstances, enter mixed with the adult prisoners. Well, justice to minority is that the children or the other region people who are minor, they are not giving, they don't have proper rights. They end up with adding, they end up themselves in crime or joining any of the illegal works, and hence they are also add up in the prison at a very small ages or doing wrong things. So this also creates a imbalance in the society. Now let us understand solutions to tackle this crisis. Now, when it comes to women, there are UN Women Security, or you can say like UNSCR, which is the UN Security Council resolution. According to 132, 325, they have added some of the rules, regulations, and resolutions. So, increasing women leadership and inclusion in peace processes and enhancing gender in peace builders in support of UN Security Council Resolution 1325. Humanitarian action should be there. In humanitarian action, we can address the needs of vulnerable women and girls to ensure those affected by the crisis can participate in, are empowered by the benefits from the response and recovery of efforts. When we see gender mainstream in humanitarian response to provide capacity building support to leaders, network civil societies, and UN agencies on gender mainstream in humanitarian program. Now let us understand steps to stop these problems against women. So we can spread awareness, we can conduct camps, summer camps, giving equal opportunity to women along with men, help to share their problems. We can open centers or some of the camps where women are free to share the problem, what actually they are facing, so that we can address the problems and find solutions. Providing access for needs like sanitation and cleanliness and water, food, and all the necessary needs, medical needs, so that they can easily they can have the access to it rather than worrying of it or using the inappropriate or unhygienic things, like providing them accessories to medical needs like medicines, sanitary napkins, or all the other essential things, and also regular basis of medical checkup to track the problems, because the many females go with, as Yemen is one such country where women are sexually treated harshly. So there is a huge chance of AIDS, HIV, and different other sexually transmitted diseases. Also, other vulnerable diseases we can say like cholera, typhoid, because of unhygienic sanitation. So, because of less sanitation in this country, so there should be medical checkup so that they can track wherever the problem is and they can end up rather than increasing it in making it to a severe problem. And maintaining proper sanitization again, increasing empowerment, giving equal opportunities to women, teaching them what is right, what is wrong, what is happening with them current situation, because as usual I said that women are married at a very small age, they don't have that much of knowledge than that of men. Promoting education, teaching, no matter whatever the age is, the woman should be compulsorily educated till 10th standard or high school. Even if they are almost 50 years or 60 years, let them educated so that they can have the knowledge of what is currently happening. Next is stopping harmful practices like female genital mutilation, other practices like breast ironing, and other different practices which lead to the harm or other insecurities of women. Now, next thing is to achieve next thing when we think about children is to achieve better life of children. For this we can give basic rights to children, that is right to education, right to freedom to speech and all, and rather than involving in the crime or involving in the war, children involving children in war, educating about what is right and what is wrong, what is good touch, what is bad touch, educating children about not to involve in war, maintaining peace, and educating about how the world system runs on and how we can solve the problems instead of war. This is one of the major situations we have to come up with rather than introducing the children to war. Then educating about what is right and what is wrong, maintaining good ratio 1:1 of gender in the school. Well, I'm not specifying the gender of males and females, but also the other genders. Every gender should have the equal right to be present in the school, like the third genders, like LGBT communities and all the other genders. Then guiding children about the gender equality, helping to identify and make them feel uncomfortable, like helping the children what they feel and giving them to identify the gender equalities, what gender they belong to. Then providing medical camps and tackling the medical problems. Especially we see in children that is malnutrition, malnourishment. We find children malnourished at the very small age and they are at a higher risk. There is a severe malnutrition rate in Yemen. So, and also providing or serving midday meals to ensure having a good and high quality of nutrients in the meal, because this can help them to overcome malnutrition in their schools. And not only in the schools, but if they are not able to travel to schools, let the schools travel to their houses. This can be done if the country or the society or the citizen wishes. Next is providing different schemes, empowering or giving schemes and promoting girl, child, or the other genders. This can lead to a great development of every country, not about Yemen. Well, these rules are not specified to Yemen, but also for the other countries to encourage to come up, all the developing countries, not only developing but also developed countries, because in developed countries also there are some other states which are facing these issues. Well, thank you so much for your cooperation and patience for listening and viewing it. I will wish to take your comments, feedbacks, and work upon it. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you, Dr. Syed and everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think you can put your details in the comment section there on the chat.
Sure,
you can
I
just
will
put your
add
details
up,
there
yeah.
so that people can contact you. Please,
Yeah, sure,
please,
I
please.
will
This
add
is
up.
very, very, very alarming. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Pura.
Yeah.
Yes, some of these things you may not believe that they are happening. Some of these issues you may not believe that they are happening, but they are happening. As Dr. Pula has put it, it's happening in Yemen. That is just one example of what is happening globally in the global community. There are a lot that are happening. So as Global United for Peace and Justice, we have got a very big responsibility to work all over the world, to work across the world, to minimize such challenges which our friends, which our women, our girls, our boys, our men are facing. More especially, our eyes today are looking at Yemen. Our eyes are upon Yemen today. We are thinking, we are trying to scrutinize what is happening there. But what we are discovering now is so alarming. It's so alarming, heartbreaking, something that we don't even believe that is happening. So we need to join hands to make sure that our friends in Yemen should also enjoy their basic rights, should also enjoy their rights to go to school, to live in their home with their families. They should enjoy whatever everyone is enjoying worldwide. But looking into what is happening in Yemen, it simply shows that there is a catastrophe, there is disaster, there are a lot of things going on. So we can't even believe what's happening there. As an organization, we have got a very big responsibility to take that responsibility and make sure that Yemen has been liberated. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. That has been very, very wonderful. That has been very, very wonderful. Now, at this point in time, let me call the last speaker. Let me call for the last speaker. And this one is the Dr. Sama Nazila from, is it Afghanistan or Pakistan? Dr. Sama Nazir from Pakistan. Dr. Sama Nazir from Pakistan.
Salma Nazir. Dr. Salma Nazir.
But he's not here.
Can you hear me? Dr. Salma Nazir.
She's muted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now,
Can you hear me, Dr.
Okay,
Sayeda?
so if you can hear us, this is now
Yeah.
your time that you can talk to us. Yes.
Shall I start?
Yes, you can start. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, thank
You
you
are
very
welcome.
much.
now. Walaikum salam wa barakatuh.
And good evening to all. My name is Salma Nazir. I'm from Karachi, Pakistan, and I'm a teacher. I'm teaching in university. So I'm really very thankful to Dr. Sayeda that she had given me the opportunity to talk to you, and this very peace is the topic, which is very touchy and very, okay, very hurting as well, because we are living in the age where we are talking about peace, but no one is working on it. I want to talk on this topic that what is if wars are affecting our youth. I'm teaching youth, and I know that they are having lots of problem because of the youth. This is not the problem of the Yemen and the Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is also facing a civil war condition. Pakistan is also facing terrorism, and Ukraine is facing lots of things from Russia and America. This is the world politics. Palestine long ago, Kashmir people also facing lots of things, and we all are standing with them. But we are not thinking that these things are not only affecting these places where people are living there, the girls, the boys, the students, children, lots of things you have just heard from the other other presenters, that this is not the problem of the place where they people are living. Actually, these things, these trauma, the situation is also terrifying the people, those who are living in the other country. When any country in the world, suppose Yemen faced a problem, Ukraine is facing a problem, still they are facing. Palestine since long, Kashmir since long, Syria, Iran, Iraq, number of names we have. We are they are people. When there is war broke out in every corner of the world, the one corner of the world, every corner of the world face it. Are you not for my voices? Are you hearing me, sir? Hello. Are you
Yes, yes.
hearing me?
You're audible, ma'am.
Achha,
Please.
sorry. I thought I'm not audible. So this is the problem is not affecting only one place. This problem is affecting every corner of the world, especially the youth. They are in very vulnerable situation that they are not getting where they will have to go, what their future, where they are heading nowadays. And this uncertain situation is psychologically giving a traumatic situation for them, because right now I'm teaching students, and as I talk to them about, we also celebrate that Peace Day in the university. But students also ask me, when ma'am, only we are celebrating the day of the Peace Day, but students, you are not using us for such situations. So I think parliament, every countries of the parliament should open for their students, call them there. How to earn the money, how to get the job, how you can use yourself, use your abilities. But we are not using their abilities, especially in terms of the peaceful activities in the world. We can also use them. Students are really wonderful in this situation. They are very energetic, enthusiastic. They have ideas. They are ready to do everything. So university should do something to use the youth for the peaceful situation in the country. And these situations which students are having, they are creating lots of trouble, such as the post-war traumatic disorder. Children and adults, they are facing this problem, depression, anxiety disorder, and everyone knows well that they are all very experienced people that the suicidal rate of the world is day by day increasing. The youth, when they are not having anyone around, they are going to get suicide. They are going for suicide. And why they are going? Aren't we are with them? We are not providing such situations to them. We are not giving counseling to them. Definitely we are lacking somewhere. Because we are lacking somewhere, that's why the societal rate of the world is day by day is increasing. One more thing that you must have noticed, and I'm also noticing, that substance abuse. When they are not seeing any future, only money, 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 you can earn this, you can earn this. They are not, but there is no future for them. That's why this is also substance abuse is very in these days. Definitely this is the problem of the every time, but this time lots of the people, especially youth, are going toward them. One thing more that we have noticed, that the social media is also giving us such picture in this regard, that inability of the relationships. Youth have no ability to form the relationships. They don't have any idea how to use them, how to flexibility, adjustment. They don't have any idea about how to form the relationship with the siblings, with the parents, with the peers, with the friends. They are not getting an idea. Social networking is day by day is lacking, because the people are comfortable with the WhatsApp messages, with the call and the video conferencing, but they are not meeting in personal. In meeting personal, people will get socialization development, and socialization development definitely solve lots of problems of the youth. The war situation prevailing, the insecurities in the world, and these insecurities are also there where the war is not. The people are terrified with the wars. We in the Pakistan, definitely we are having lots of problem in this regard. And the people of the South Asia, they are definitely facing lots of problem, that we are not facing war problems right now, but we are effects of the war. Anything happening in the world, but we are facing the problem. We are facing the effects of those wars. We are the effects of the wars. That's why we are students. And being a teacher, I also felt that our students are getting day by day, our youth are getting day by day in the psychological problem. They are not easily socializing themselves, not networking is very slow. So things are not very good for them. So we should think about it, how to solve the problem. Definitely, be the elderly people, be the teachers, the parents, we can do something for them. Be the social activists, we can do something. We can indulge in constructive activities, not only in our own country, on this platform where we are talking about, when we are all are gathering here, the online situation, we all are at our comfort zone, but we were talking to each other, listening to each other. So we can make some platform for them, so they can dispense their whatever they have in their mind. So when they will get the chance to dispense, definitely it will make their heart light, and they will feel better. Then this situation can, in my opinion, can be better for them. So we should think about it, and we should do something for our youth to make some situations. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Sai.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You are so much welcome, ma'am. This has been a wonderful presentation. We have learned a lot from this presentation. Thank you very much. You know, in all these presentations, what we are learning is that the most, the people that are suffering the most are the children. So these children are the innocent ones. So they are the people that are suffering the most in almost every conflict that is taking place globally. So we need to join hands. Thank you very much for such a wonderful presentation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As we continue, our great conference 2023 continues, and now it is my humble duty this time to call upon Dr. Sreya Bano from India. Dr. Sreya Bano, this is now your time. You can take the floor. Thank you.
Very good evening. This is Professor Dr. Sreya Bano from Balainagar, Chhattisgarh, India. I am working as assistant professor in computer science since 31 years and also Global Peace Brand Ambassador, Global Goodwill Ambassador. Today the topic is study of pupils and human rights in Yemen. As United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said, we can't deter people fleeing for their lives. They will come. The choice we have is how well we manage their arrival and how humanly. Yemen is a party to the following human rights agreements: the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, the Convention relating the status of refugees, and the Convention on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Yemen, one of the poorest Arab countries, is highly dependent on declining revenues from relatively small oil and gas reserves. A complex civil war has exacerbated economic problem, unemployment, and a shortage of food, water, and medical resources. As Mother Teresa said, I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together we can do great things. Here some questions arises. I want to deliver point wise. Number one, what are the human rights abuses in Yemen? All parties perpetrated gender-based violence and discrimination. Yehudi de facto authorities banned women from traveling without a male guardian, increasingly hindering Yemeni women from working and giving or receiving humanitarian aid. 70.4 million people are suffering from hunger, malnutrition. People continue to flee violence. More than 4 million have been displaced from their homes as of March 2022. As Daisaku Ikeda, Japanese philosopher, said, the effects of human rights education can be dramatic in awakening people to the value and the power of their own lives. The issues of humanitarian crisis in Yemen, now I want to focus on this point. Millions of children lack access to safe water, sanitation, and hygiene services, and the country continues to experience regular outbreaks of cholera, measles, diphtheria, and other vaccine-preventable diseases. More than 99% of the population is Muslim, associating with beliefs with either the Safis order of Sunni Islam or Ziyadi Islam, distinct from Shia Islam. As former UN Deputy Secretary General Jan Eliasson said, there can be no peace without development, no development without peace, and no lasting peace or sustainable development without respect for human rights and the rule of law. The second question arises, why are people suffering in Yemen? The Yemeni crisis began with the 2011 to 2012 revolution against President Abdullah Saleh, who had led Yemen for 33 years. Yemen, which is currently experiencing unprecedented level of hunger, is being impacted by the war as prices for wheat and grain soar. Despite ongoing humanitarian assistance, 17.3 million Yemenis suffered from high levels of acute food insecurity, including 6 million people who are on the brink of famine. As John F. Kennedy said, the right of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. Then the next question arises, what type of conflict is in Yemen? The Yemeni civil war is an ongoing multilateral civil war that began in late 2014, mainly between the Rashid al-Alimi-led Presidential Leadership Council and the Mahdi al-Mashhad-led Supreme Political Council, along with their supporters, and when Houthi insurgents rebel with links to Iran and its history of rising up against the Sunni government to control of Yemen's capital and largest city, Sana'a, demanding lower fuel prices and a new government. As Salil Sethi, Secretary General or Amnesty International, said, human rights education is key to addressing the underlying causes of injustice around the world. The more people know about their rights and the rights of others in society, the better equipped they are to protect them. The other question is, what has the United Nations done about Yemen? Since the establishment of the Office of the Special Envoy in 2012, the United Nations has provided support for the Yemeni-led political transition process and has promoted inclusive participation, including of previously marginalized groups such as women, youth, the Houthis, and southern Iraq. As Mahatma Gandhi said, you must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. The nations such as the United Kingdom and the United States support the Saudi Arabian-led intervention in Yemen primarily through arms sales and technical assistance. France had also made recent military sales to Saudi Arabia. All sides of the conflict have been accused of human rights abuses and war crimes. So why does no one care about Yemen? There are three main reasons. No one outside the Middle East has any interest in Yemen: oil, money, and Iran. Unlike Syria, there's no oil in Yemen. In the words of Zaid Rad al-Hussein, Jordanian United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, he said very well, even in kindergarten, children should learn and experience the fundamental human rights, value of respect, quality, and justice. From the earliest age, human rights education should be infused throughout the program of every school in curricular and textbooks, policies, the training of teaching personnel, pedagogical method, and the overall learning environment. Children can be guided by human rights education to make informed choices in life, to approach situation with critical and independent thought, and to empathize with other points of view. The Constitution provided that the President be elected by popular vote from at least 2 candidates endorsed by Parliament, and Prime Minister is appointed by the President. The presidential term of office is 7 years and the parliamentary terms of elected office is 6 years. In the words of Dalai Lama, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. And he also said, word belongs to humanity, not this leader, or that king or prince or religious leader. Word belongs to humanity. The next question arises, what groups are fighting in Yemen? Military situation in the Yemeni civil war as of April 2021, controlled by the Revolutionary Committee, Supreme Political Council, controlled by the Hadi-led government, and allies, controlled by Ansar al-Sharia, controlled by the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant, controlled by the Southern Movement. As Martin Luther King said, a right delayed is a right denied. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concern of all humanity. And the last question arises, why there is a humanitarian crisis in Yemen? Since 2015, a persistent conflict between the internationally recognized government of Yemen with support from the Saudi-led coalition and the de facto authority that is aligned with Iran has resulted in a severe economic and humanitarian crisis. As UN General Assembly said, human rights education should involve more than the provision of information and should constitute a comprehensive lifelong process by which people at all levels in development and in all strata of the society learn respect for the dignity of the others and the means and methods of ensuring that respect in all society. Now I conclude, the Republic of Yemen is an Arab country occupying the southwestern to southern end of the Arabian Peninsula. It is bordered by Saudi Arabia to the north, the Red Sea to the west, the Gulf of Aden, and Arabian Sea to the south, and Oman to the east. Their needs are violence across Yemen continues to endanger civilians, trigger displacement and damage critical infrastructure. Imports of food, fuel, and medicine are restricted, leading to acute shortage and high prices. Now I end my speech with the golden word of Nelson Mandela. To deny people their human right is to challenge their very humanity. Thank you one and all for listening. Thank you, sir. Thanks all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It's a wonderful presentation. We have learned a lot from it. It's really very wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You are so much welcome. Thank you. I appreciate the presentation. It has been very good and an eye-opener. Thank you very much, ma'am. You are welcome. Thank you. Now, as we continue, let me find out if some of the speakers that we called earlier on, but they were not in the house, if they have joined us now, I think this can be their time that they can speak to us. Is there anybody who we previously called but was not there, but now has joined? Is there anyone? No. Okay. So,
sorry, our SLBC manager, Dr.
Hello?
Sorry, Dr. Sorry, ask him. He
Dr.
was missed his presentation.
Okay.
Dr.
So
Sariba from SIC. Where is he? He was missing. Oh, Dr. Sariba.
is he in the house?
Yeah. SLBC TV.
Okay. SLBC TV, please, if you are there, can you talk to us? SLBC TV. Are you there?
Hello. Hello, Mr. Soriba. Can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Soriba. Can you hear me? Do you like to participate too? I think he has any problem. Maybe a technical problem.
He cannot hear us. Maybe he cannot hear us.
This line,
Okay.
this line is for the TV. This is the line we broadcast on the TV. Because we are live on the TV for now. This is the line.
Okay. So should we continue? Should we continue? Okay. Now I'll open the floor for the other speakers to comment on what the many speakers have already spoken. Today, our eyes are upon Yemen. There are a lot happening in Yemen. Our children, our sisters and brothers, our fathers and mothers, our grandpas and grandmas in Yemen are facing atrocities, sexual harassment, and a lot more. Now our eyes are on Yemen. Hello.
Excuse me, Dr. Emmanuel. Excuse me. Someone is handed over the hand from Egypt.
From Egypt, she has raised.
Ambassador Dr. Iman Alam from Egypt.
Okay. Ambassador Dr. Imam, you're welcome. Okay. Hello, you are welcome.
Welcome, Dr. Emmanuel. Welcome, Dr. Said. Welcome, Dr. Anjem. I'm very happy to be with you today. Can I deliver my comments, please?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you. I attended your great conference from the first moments, and to conclude, I think we are here not to fight each other, but we are here to support each other and to fight diseases. We are not here to fight life, but we are here to fight this in the form of diseases, and also all things can be done and all problems can be solved by education. So we need to highlight the issue of education because it's very important to overcome all crises by education. All over all countries around the world, we have many crises, we have many problems. I think if you can search no country without any problem, I think it will be something like imagination in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, in America, in all countries. There are several problems. Maybe you are inside or outside, so you can see it carefully or clearly, but I think all things can be overcome by education. So we need to direct ourselves towards peaceful education. We need to magnify the issue of educator. We need to highlight the issue of value-based education. We need to have peaceful education again and again and again. I think many problems you showed in Yemen and in other countries is related to education. Early marriage is a problem, is created by non-educated people. For example, many other things. I think violence is highly correlated with non-educated communities because education is a light. So when you are subjecting anything to a light, so you can overcome all problems and crises by the light of education. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be with you today. Let's talk about human rights in education. Let's talk about equality in education. Let's talk about peaceful education again and again. Let's talk about value and issues-based education to solve all our problems all over the world. I think the crisis of COVID sent many messages to us, but unfortunately, some people forget very, very fast because COVID-19 sent to us a problem and also a lesson. The lesson is that we are all in a crisis. The lesson, we need to overcome disease. So we need to overcome disease instead of overcoming or struggling with each other. So now we have only one enemy. It's a virus, it's a bacteria, and so on. So let's focus on diseases to be fighted. Don't fight each other. Don't think about how to struggle or how to overcome, because you need to be dominant by science and by education. You need to have upper hand by education. You need to be appreciated also by education. Thanks a lot. And that's all what I have. I'm very happy to be with you today. Thanks IDYM for allowing me to attend with you. Thank you very much. Thanks our lovely host, Dr. Anjum, and also Dr. Said. Thanks my dear colleague also, Dr. Emmanuel. Thanks a lot, Ravi Jai, for connecting each other in the form of your lovely foundation, IDYM. Thanks again.
Thank you
Thank you very much, Dr. Iman.
Most
Thank
welcome.
you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. You are so much
Dr. Anjum.
welcome.
Thank
We are
you.
blessed with your comment. We are
Thank
so
you.
much blessed with your comment, and we enjoy having you on board. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
missed to be a speaker in this lovely events because I was very busy in the previous days,
Yes.
but I'm very happy to deliver my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much that you have tried amongst all those assignments, all those things that you were supposed to do, but you have tried your best to have time to be with us. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye. With all my appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Now, as we continue our conference today, let me call upon, if he is here, Dr. Wesley from South Africa. Is he here? Dr. Wesley from South Africa? Is he here with us? No.
I
Let
think
me
he
also.
is not kindly present.
He's not. Okay. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Yes,
Thank you
he
very
is
much.
not. Most
Okay. What about Dr. Bahat Munia from Pakistan? Dr. Bahat Munia from Pakistan, is he with us this this evening? This morning? He's not. Okay. Okay. I would also like to call upon Colonel Mohabbat Ari. This one is from is it UK? Is it from United Kingdom? Colonel Mohabbat Ali from UK. He's not with us again. What about Dr. Sham Halila from Morocco? Is he with us today?
No, I can't see him.
No. Almost everyone is not there. Almost everyone is not there. Okay. Let me. Okay. Hello. Yes,
They
ma'am?
won't participate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I have seen other participants with us today. I've also noticed Jacinta Mao from Malawi. Are you there? Maybe you may have a comment. Are you there? Jacinta?
Yes, I'm here and I do have a comment.
Thank you. Welcome. This is the time.
Thank you. I'm going to make a comment, not so much based on what we have heard today, but then something to do with civil wars and what we can do as people, as an organization. When we talk of civil war, it comes about because there may be 3 sides or 2 sides that are involved. And civil wars are usually tribal. And it's very difficult to stop fighting when there's no political will. The political will has to be there. So now back to the issue of Yemen. When you look at the issue of Yemen, this war started in 2014. We're now almost in 2024. That's over 8 years of war. And we have heard tonight how a lot of people are suffering. And there's so many interventions that have taken place, but there is no change. So I feel that it's time to go back to the drawing table to look at the strategies that have already been used and to evaluate why they're not working. I think that's a start, because so many countries and so many organizations have tried to come in, but it seems to be at a stagnant point. So at this point, we see that a lot of people in Yemen are suffering. And some of the statistics and some of what we have heard tonight is very horrifying. I was quite flabbergasted, and I even got goosebumps hearing some of the atrocities and some of the situations that people are going through. So while mediations are going on, I think the world at large needs to look at how the people of Yemen can be assisted. We're talking about the children, the women. I think this is an immediate need, while on the political scene, that is also being looked at. But as I've said, civil wars are very, very difficult to stop. And this war may go on for years. And we're having our children growing up in such horrific environments, such a horrific situation. Our women and this society will grow up traumatized. I'm just trying to imagine 10 years from now, what kind of a country and what kind of a society, what kind of communities will be there in Yemen if this war is not stopped. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacinta, for your comments. It's really interesting but heartbreaking to hear more about Yemen, because what we have heard today is just something as a new things that are unfolding, because we didn't know that things have gone to that extent in Yemen, that things are happening that way, that human beings are being are in such situations whereby there is no way they can get out of that, only if those parties fighting can reach a ceasefire agreement, only that. So we need to go back to the drawing table and see what are some of the strategies and mechanisms that can work better to stop the fighting in Yemen. Since we are an organization, we need to put our heads together and see how best that war can be stopped right away. since our friends, our people, the human beings there are suffering day and night. Thank you very much, Jacinta. Now, let me ask Sonia Zulita, if you have any comment. I have seen you are there. Sonia Zulita, if you have any comment, then this is the time that you can talk to us. Sonia Zulita, if you can hear me. Sonia Zulita. Okay, maybe she can't hear me. She can't hear me. Okay. Let me ask Georgia Sante. Do you have any comment? Yes, I can see your hand raised up. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yes.
You can talk to us. Thank you. Welcome.
Yes, I have a comment. Dr. Pula made a statement, and it has to do with this gender equality and all that. I wanted to chip in this, that you see, some of these gender issues have brought about confusion to our children. And we have kids who are growing up very depressed because they don't know which gender to choose or what they belong. And this affects them in various ways. For example, it affects them in depression. It leads to the spread of sexually transmitted diseases. It leads to a loss of identity. It leads to a loss of identity. Also, regarding sports, when people are going for sports, you don't know whether they are a mix of male or female, or back in the day, children used to compete. I know my time when I was going to school, we had boys, having games of boys and girls having games of girls, and children competed based on their gender, as in boys and girls. And they came out, the boys were first, the girls were first or something. But the rate at which things are going now, it is not even funny. It is so widespread that children are beginning to show various depressive signs and all that. Also, this gender fluidity brings about wickedness among the nations. And it is important that as an organization, we do proper education to those who are coming, or children, so that they're able to understand that the agenda is either a male or a female. So that's what I wanted to add.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your important comment that you have added. It's really very important that our children should feel the sense of belonging to the society. They should not feel isolated. They should feel that they are so much loved. They should grow up in an environment that is conducive to them for their growth. They should attend school freely. They should go to whatever. They should have time to play in the society, to play with each other of their age. They should enjoy their rights, more especially the basic rights. So what we are seeing in Yemen, this is not the case in Yemen, because what we are seeing is that they are depressed, they are running up and down, they are carrying some guns every time they go to school, they are being raped, they are being kidnapped. A lot is happening there. They are being killed, they are being butchered. So all those things are happening to our children, to our women, to our elderlies, to everyone in Yemen. So we have been here today on this great conference, looking at Yemen. Our eyes were upon Yemen to see what is happening inside it. So we have been scrutinizing, and what we have discovered is that our friends in Yemen are really, really, really in trouble. So there is need, as we have agreed, that there is a need for an urgent or immediate address to such problems of Yemen, because starting from 2014 up to this 2023, it means the war has been there for a long time. So some have borne some have born in such situations. They don't know what peace is all about. They don't know what living together in a family, enjoying the family. They don't know all those things. So we need to make sure that we put our heads together and find solutions, how we can stop the war in Yemen, and you see what is happening there. And also those fighting parties, they should sit down and see, why are we fighting? What do we want at the end of the day of our fighting? What is it that we are doing, and who is suffering? That our own people are suffering. Our own people, the one that we are fighting for, are suffering, are distressed. So they should come up with a ceasefire and get into a room of discussion so that this war must immediately be stopped. Thank you very much. Maybe I may left someone behind or outside, but still the door is open. If you have got a comment, please, this is the time before we run closer to the end of our great conference today. If you have got a comment, please, this is the high time. I called Zulita, but she didn't hear me. If you are there now, you can comment. Zulita, if you are there. I don't think she's hearing me. Sonia Zulita, she's not. Okay. Is there any other comment before I call the chairperson to come up with the closing remarks? Is there any comment? Any other comment from anyone in the house? Okay. Before the chairperson comes up with the closing remarks, let me thank all those people who have managed to come and attend this meeting. I have seen we had our guest of honor today, a guest speaker, Dr. Parvinder Singh, who is the chairperson of the newspaper Page 3 worldwide. We were so much impressed with your presence, sir. And also, I have seen that we have SLBC TV with us, covering all these things live. Thank you very much. Humbly, we thank you because you are always with us. Let me also thank the IDYM for making it live here and for always being with us. Together we can. And let me recognize every one of us who have been with us here. And also lastly, let me thank Dr. Saidi for your hardworking and endless efforts to make sure that peace is being done all over the world, that everyone is enjoying the peace, the best light of peace, so that everyone is enjoying it. But maybe before I go further, I have seen a hand raised up from Dr. Imam. Ma'am, do you have anything to add? Ma'am, Dr. Imam from Egypt. I saw
Hello.
your hand raised up.
Hello, just I want to say congratulations. Really, the conference is very successful, and I'm very happy to be with you today. But I need to add one point. Everything is correlated also with corruption. Corruption inside many countries, including the wealth and the minerals and so on. Most African and Asian countries are subjected to the issue of corruption, and I think corruption must be an introduction of occupation. Some internal violence is an introduction to occupation. Something like having a hard mom, so this hard mom is not dealing with you in a good manner, so it means that you will be taken by another enemy. This is the issue: corruption followed by occupation. So let's take care of our areas, let's take care of our wealth, and before anything, we have human wealth located in the human resources. Instead of saying this is overcrowded area, we need to say we have many hands to work, many hands to change. Many people can be change maker. Instead of counting people, we need to count blessings of having overloaded areas. Thank you very much again. And I think no base without education, again and again. So take care of corruption, try to overcome corruption, take care of your lands. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for your comment. Lastly, let me thank my mother. She is my mother, Dr. Jum. Thank you very much. You are always there for us. You are always there with us. Thank you very much. Your presence makes us happy, and you make it so blessed. So we enjoy having you on board. Thank you very much, Dr. Jum, our host. Thank you very much. You are so much welcome. Now, lastly, let me call Dr. Said for a closing remarks. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, dear. Today we are we discuss about more a study of people and the human rights in Yemen. But we have to study speak about two topics, but our people already speak about the Yemen problem, but the other one is the 10th topic is the Sri Lankan economic crisis, people and the people present by the rulers of the Sri Lanka. But our three members are, our three speakers are there. We should speak about that topic, but they won't have that. There are four speakers, but three numbers are absent. Our Dr. Shaheen from Bangladesh, Dr. Professor Bennett Rajendran from India, and the Salman is presented, but she won't news about that. Other one is Priyanka, Dr. Priyanka. So I'm the there are four people who wanted to speak about Sri Lanka, and only one of them reported today. It's a pity that the participation did not take up the discussion about the Sri Lanka. I'm sorry to say about that. So I will thank to you all, especially our chief guest, Excellency Dr. Pravendra Singh, owner of the Page 3 newspaper. Otherwise, normally I always thanking to our IDYM, SLBC, and other paper, the global nations paper, and our Page 3 paper. So, and our Dr. Anjum Qureshi, she was always help to us, and our Manuel also helping to us. So I wish to special thank to Dr. Emmanuel, Dr. Anjum Qureshi, and other our friends. my dearest great speaker, I wish to thank again and again to you all, because you are doing you are doing a great service. Not you, anyone don't have any personal hopes. So thank you so much. Dr. Pravinder Singh, thank you so much for your coming and your presentation. Our Sonia is a very active, but today I don't know. I don't know why he won't submit her idea. And our SLB manager, Dr. Soriba, if you want submit any ideas, opinion, but I don't know, but he's a journalist and a SLBC manager. I thought he will give some ideas, new ideas for us, but he was silent. I don't know. From Egypt, Dr. I forgot her name. I like to special thank to Egypt, Dr. Sorry, I forget
Dr.
her,
Emma.
her
Dr.
name.
Emma. Ambassador Emma.
Emma. Okay. Otherwise, our Jacinta, she is a very clever lady. Our George, our George Santa, so he is also always trying to participate in this conference. Thank to Dr. George. So, I would say to you all for your present. Dr. Emmanuel, now we can over our conference. Thank you. Good night. Good afternoon. Good evening. You. We'll see you again and again.
All your life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. So the great pleasure to meet you in this world. And anytime you need anything from my side, you're most welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
I will be there for you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pravinder Singh. Thank you. I know you are a kindness heart person, and you are doing a very great service to the world people. Really great person you are. You will thank to your service, your great service.
Have a good time for
very
everyone.
Nice person.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Sayed. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, Dr. Emmanuel, we are keeping in touch, sir, for future.
Dr. Ajum, do you have anything to say before we close down? Dr. Ajum?
Thank you very much. Nothing to say. And congratulations, everyone, because 5 days this conference it has been conducted very successfully. And of course, we would like to, on the very first place, the organizer and the chairperson of this conference, Dr. Syed Hanifuddin ma'am. Credit goes to her for her hard work that this great conference is being organized, and it had great speakers from all over the world. I can see so many. I just learned a lot on all the 5 days which I attended. Thank you very much for organizing such a good conference.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anjum Qureshi. You are a very helpful. No words to thank you, because you are a very, very helpful. Thank you very much, Dr. Qureshi.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for this great conference 2023. Now this marks the end of our conference for today. May the good Lord bless you. Thank you.